What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Phil. In case you're clicking this video for the first time, you are very much welcome. I am happy to be back with another amazing easy recipe. Today we are baking and we're baking this amazing marble cake. You guys are going to fall in love with this cake. It's such a simple cake but full of flavor. It is super moist. This will be your go-to cake, and the good thing is it's very simple to make. I've listed the easy ingredients in the description box down below. Don't forget to check on that. I've also finished this cake with some chocolate and nuts glaze. You are going to love this. Actually, this is an optional glaze. You can just serve the marble cake the way it is, or you can finish it with the glaze, which takes it to another level. You will love it. So collect all the ingredients I've listed in the description box down below, and let's get started. So for our first step, we're going to add butter to our bowl. So I'm using 3/4 cup of unsalted butter. I'm following that with 1 cup of castor sugar. You can also use granulated sugar. So you'll just go in with your whisk. You're going to whisk this. This may take about 2 to 3 minutes until everything is nicely incorporated. So once you're done, we are going to add our eggs. So I'm using 3 eggs for this recipe. So as I've mentioned earlier, guys, I've listed the whole ingredients in the description box down below. Don't forget to check on that. And also, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe for more of my amazing recipes. So next we are adding yogurt. So I'm using 1/2 cup of plain yogurt. So the yogurt really makes this cake very moist, so that's the reason why I'm adding yogurt to my butter. I've also added 1/4 cup of milk, so I'm just going ahead to mix that well until everything is nicely incorporated. So now it's time to add our dry ingredients. So I've just added 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm following that with 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going ahead to mix that well until I have a very nice smooth batter. And our cake batter looks ready at this point. You see how smooth it is. So for our next step, we're just going to divide it into 2 portions. So just take another clean bowl and add the batter. Just make sure that you have equal amounts of the cake batter. So now that you have equal amounts of the cake batter, we are going to flavor them. So for the first batter, we are going to add 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder. So guys, make sure you're using unsweetened cocoa powder. So I'm talking about the unsweetened cocoa powder that is always bitter. I know some of you may end up using the drinking chocolate one, so make sure you're not using that. Make sure that you are using the unsweetened one, the bitter cocoa powder. So you'll just mix that well until nicely incorporated, and you'll put that aside. For our next batter, we'll just flavor it with some vanilla. So I've just added 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence. You'll mix that well, and once you're done, just place it aside as we go to our next step. So next you're going to transfer the batter into the piping bag. So here I have 2 piping bags. So just place the piping bag in a glass. This will help you to easily put the batter in the bag. So you're just going to slowly put the batter in the piping bag, and once you're done, you just place that aside as we go to our next step. So here I have my baking tin. I'm using a loaf baking tin. So I'm just going ahead to spread some vegetable oil. This is just to avoid the cake sticking to my baking tin. And once we are done, we are going to slowly put the butter. So you just alternate the butter. See the way I'm doing it here. You start with the vanilla and then with the chocolate, and you do like that until you reach the top. So here's another thing that you can do if you don't have a piping bag. You can just use a spoon and then scoop alternatively the butters into your baking tin until you're all done. So give it a quick tap, and then you're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 170 degrees Celsius for at least 1 hour or until it's done. So you'll know your cake is done when you insert a toothpick at the center and it comes out clean. And as you can see, our marble cake is ready. It's looking so yummy, but we haven't finished yet. So for our next step, we are going to spread some sugar syrup. So this step is very, very important, guys. Don't skip this step. So to make the sugar syrup, you'll just take your pan and add half a cup of water with a quarter cup of sugar. You'll go ahead and heat that. Once it starts to boil, you remove it from the heat, and then you'll just spread it on your cake. So make sure the top of the cake is covered with the syrup and also the sides. So the reason why we are doing this is to keep the cake moist, and also, as always, when we bake the cake, the top part always comes out super hard, so the syrup will keep that soft and super moist. So we're just going to leave this cake at room temperature for at least 12 hours. Don't eat it yet, guys. Leave it at room temperature for 12 hours. Let it rest. Let the syrup penetrate inside that cake, and let me tell you, you are going to enjoy the results at the end of this. So now let me quickly show you how to make the chocolate glaze. So the glaze is actually optional. You can just serve your cake as the way it is, or you can just go ahead and add the chocolate glaze, which takes this cake to another level. So for the glaze, you will need 1 cup of dark chocolate and also 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. You'll quickly put it in the microwave, heat it for about a minute or 2, and then mix it until it's nicely smooth like this. Next, I'm going ahead to add some nuts. So I'm using half a cup of roasted groundnuts or peanuts. You can use any nuts that you have, walnuts, almond nuts, they still work out fine. So go ahead and mix that well until everything is nicely incorporated. And once we are done, we're going to pour this on top of our cake. So our cake has been resting for 12 hours. So I left mine overnight. And a quick thing before I forget, when the cake has rested for 12 hours, you will first put it in the fridge for at least 30 minutes before you add the glaze. So the reason why we did that is because the glaze will immediately stick to the cake and you won't have a hard time spreading the glaze over the cake. So our cake is ready. You'll just slice it and serve it. I'm telling you, you're going to love this cake. It's so moist, it's so soft, it just melts in your mouth, and the chocolate glaze just adds more flavor to this marble cake. So I hope you guys go ahead and try it. Make it for your family, make it for your friends, also make it for yourselves, and I hope you enjoy. And that's what we're making today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you're going to try yourself this marble cake, and as usual, if you try it, don't forget to tell me how yours came out in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more of my amazing recipes. We can always connect on Instagram or on TikTok at feels_kitchen. So till my next video, guys, bye.